That was a song from Cubivore, composed by Hajime Tachibana, a fun GameCube exclusive where you go around and eat other cubes and stuff. It's a weird title. Anyways, hello! I'm Benjamin Yoder, and this is one controller port. Yes, a single controller port. And I am your host, the Benjamin of the Yoder, which I already said, but congratulations, you're going to hear it again. So yeah, this is hopefully be a fairly short form gaming podcast kind of deal with just me. So that's why I want to keep it short, because I don't want to ramble on by myself for an hour and you'll be like, oh, this is a long time to be with a single person. So yeah, the whole idea with the podcast is really just to talk about some gaming news and stuff, and other gaming things, like what I am currently playing, and maybe anything I'm working on, if I'm working on anything entertaining, and all that good kind of stuff. The title One Controller Port comes from the idea that there were some consoles that only had one controller port, like the TurboGrafx 16 and the Panasonic 3DO. Both of those can have multiplayer, but you have to link on another player to the single controller port. So usually you have to plug them in via multi-tap, or I think the 3DO will let you daisy chain controllers basically, which was kind of weird. But yeah, so let's get started. So speaking of systems that were kind of failure, not really, it's not really that bad of a failure, but it's not doing so great. The Nintendo 3DS, and this is a bit old news by now, and if I ever, whenever I find the time to post this, it might be even later than as of recording, but it's still an interesting topic, and that's the Nintendo 3DS's price drop. I've already written a few articles on VG charts about the price drop a bit, and I mainly covered how Nintendo handled the situations, how it will affect the PS Vita and what kind of moves Nintendo can do right now. Although, honestly, the biggest move Nintendo can do right now is just put out good software. But even with the system isn't performing well. The Nintendo DS didn't perform that well either, and I don't think it was until more than 6 months after the DS came out that any sort of real substantial software even really came out. I mean, there's Super Mario 64 DS, but I guess that's pretty much equivalent to Ocarina of Time 3D on the 3DS. But the difference is one was at launch and the other one's just kind of there. And right now, other than Star Fox 3D, we don't have anything in the immediate future that looks all that appealing. I think there's a Devil Survivor game coming out soon. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. It's a port of the DS one. But I mean, the platform is doing worse than the DS so far, but it doesn't seem that bad. But either way, I do think the price drop was a good choice by Nintendo, especially since the market's a lot harsher now with the iOS devices and the possibility of the PlayStation Vita. Although I'm starting to question it now, since I think the PlayStation Vita's best advantage against the 3DS was the fact that Nintendo was being so arrogant with their console or their handheld. And then now Nintendo's kind of realized, oh crap, we gotta do something about this because this isn't working out. And so they did something about it. They dropped the price. That's probably not going to fix it. But yeah, again, software is once good software comes along, I'm sure the system will recover to a certain point. How well the system will do overall its lifespan is still a bit hard to see. I think it's largely dependent on how the PlayStation Vita does, but even that, I'm kind of concerned about it because I don't really know what kind of position. I mean, I know what kind of position they're in, the same position they used to be with the PlayStation Portable, which is not a good kind of way to push your handheld, in my opinion. It's like, this one failed. Okay, let's do another one just like it. But yeah, I thought they could have done it before because Nintendo was being arrogant. Now I'm starting to question it, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So yeah. So there's your 3DS news. I only really want to tackle one topic that's really big, just because I want to keep this as short as possible. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna move on to what I have been playing. What have you been playing, Ben? I don't know. I've been playing Catherine. Oh yeah, that's right. Um, I'm already making a second person for this podcast. Uh, so Catherine's it's a action puzzle game, but it's kind of weird because it's a like a visual novel with a puzzle game put together, and they don't really match up at all. But at the same time, they almost go together perfectly. It's a really strange kind of setup because you go between puzzle and these story sequences, and it's just such a harsh contrast. There's no overlap really, and so it's kind of strange how it all worked out. I did a review for the game for the Speed Gamers, which you can find on thespeedgamers.com, and through my website. I also have a post linking towards it. It's one of the most recent posts, I believe, and I gave it a pretty high score. I saw a lot of people complaining. I always like after I set my score in stone, and it's like this is my final score. I'm not changing it no matter what, unless I find like a major error in what I said about a game. Um, I go to Metacritic just to see where I fall on the bar, and I think last I checked, the Metacritic rating was an 80 average, and I gave it a 93. So I was pretty hard above it, but I do think that people aren't really. I saw a lot of people who were complaining about the difficulty, and I think that's kind of unwarranted. I think it was very much kind of a not the same kind of challenge as Mega Man, but the same feeling that you're like this is impossible, and then you're like, oh well, I guess I can beat this if I try hard enough, and then you try hard enough, and then you beat it. So, and there's also an easy mode, and they made the U.S. release a lot easier, and also gave an undo button for the normal mode in North America, so you can undo moves. Since once you mess something up in that game, if you don't have the undo button, you could completely screw up the entire playing field. So I'm very glad they added that in the U.S. release, because I don't know if I would have beaten it otherwise. At least not in normal mode. I would have had beaten it in easy mode. But so yeah, so that's Catherine. A short explanation of it. And then right now it's kind of hard because I played Catherine like a week ago. So I'm not really playing anything right now. I watched a walkthrough of Deus Ex all the way up to the point that I used to be at because it's been like a year since I've played it, and I want to beat it because I really liked the game, and I believe I still do really like the game. I haven't played it in like a year, so I don't know. But I watched the a walkthrough to catch up on the story to get through. So the guy during the walkthrough covered about my 20 hours of content in about 4 hours. So yeah, so I caught up to that, and while I was catching up to that, I was playing Phantasy Star Universe, the most updated version for the PlayStation 2, which is what is the title of that game? Ambition of the Illuminous. So that's just hunting and grinding. That's how I feel about Phantasy Star Universe hunting and grinding. So yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Again, I'm trying to keep it very short because it is only me. Maybe in the future I'll add someone on, but for right now, it is I, Benjamin Yoder, and I am your friend. Kind of, not really, sort of. I don't know. Do you know me? I don't know. You could be my friend. So, anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the future. Which reminds me, I guess I should say that I don't. I would like to do this every week. It'd be nice, but I procrastinate a horrendous amount. So we'll see how it goes. At the very least, I'd like to talk about like what I've been writing about and stuff, even if there isn't any really gaming news going on. Because recently, other than a few things, really the 3DS price drop has been the biggest. So yeah. Anyways, for real this time. I will see you guys later. I'm gonna leave. Actually, I lied again. I'm not for reals. I'll go ahead and leave you guys with a track from Catherine. It's music, yes, and it's gonna be a portion of a track, not the full track itself, because it's an interesting slice of the song. It's not the full song, but it might as well be its own song or a song on its own. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.